G'day guys, it's Curly from the Quad Skate channel. I thought I'd do a little bit of a precursor to this video that you're going to see in a second, basically to explain a few things. Basically what I was going to do, a series of videos on the build of these skates. So that was the plan. I was going to do a heat mold and I was going to do a mounting and so forth and so forth and so forth. But I've organised now every Tuesday that I go for a skate, and I want to actually get these skates ready for that day. So it's a bit of a rush job. I did one skate and then I did the second skate. And as things happen, which a lot of people probably won't tell you, I did 11 holes all perfectly. But the 12th one stuffed up, sort of not badly, just rolled. What happened was I actually tightened the T-nut. Went too tight, I went too exuberant on the tightening down the T-nut, and it sort of stripped it, so it spun a bit and just chewed up a bit of the salt in salt. In the end, it all worked fine. The plates are fine, skates are fine, and it works fine. So, hope you enjoy the video. Warts and all, as usual, from me. I try not to make things, I don't try and sugarcoat things. Skating, so mounting plates is not always easy. Sometimes there's problems. That's just the way it is. Anyway, guys, enjoy. So let's get to the video. See you guys. Bye. G'day guys, it's Curly here from the Quad Skate channel with another little video, a little mounting video. Now this is not exactly what I was planning to do as a series of mounts, but I want to get these mounted up quick because I need to have these ready for in a couple of days. So I can't do a proper full-on video like I really wanted to. So what I have here is I have a set of LXT boots. They're carbon infused. So around this area here is a carbon infused material. So they're quite firm, and they are heat moldable. They are heat moldable in water. So basically put them in a plastic bag in the water. Now I was going to do that first, but I thought, you know what, I'll skate these first, see how they go, and if I have any issues then I can heat mold them. But I put them on and they fit pretty good. They fit nice and firm. They fit really nice. Like I said, these are a semi-custom. They were done off a drawing, off a tracing of my foot, and Rahul sent them to me from India. Now the plates I'm putting on, because I'm going to be skating these exclusively pretty much, well, that's the plan anyway, to skate them on the Criterium track, which is the long track. I'm going to put a longer plate. Now these are actually a 165. You can see it there, they're 165. Normally I skate a 155, and these boots are basically a 42 euro. So about 250mm length of my shoe, and a 165 plate. Normally I skate a 155. So they are actually a little bit, probably a few mils more forward than what I normally have them, or back to where I used to have them. So basically that axle lines up pretty much with the inside, my inside ankle bone. My inside ankle bone basically marking is about, you can see it's just there. And so the axle is pretty much lined up with my middle of my inside ankle bone, and that makes the front axle fall basically sort of part way under my big toe. It's good for pushing off. All right guys, so I'm going to go back and forth with this. It's going to be a quick mount. So I've already marked my center by I actually measured across the widest part here at the rear, make a mark, measured across widest part here, made a mark, middle. Then I put the wheels on. I looked over top to see how they lined up width-wise. So I'll just show that here quickly. So it's really hard to see on camera. It doesn't always line up because of the parallax error, but they are basically, they are pretty much the same each side. And anyway, just have to trust me on that. It's really hard to see on the camera. Like I said, you can't always get the angle right because of lens distortion. So I won't go through that because I want to get these done as quick as possible for you. So I will edit this up later and put it up. So what I've done now, I'm just going to take off the trucks. I'm going to try and keep this as much as camera as possible, but things will happen that it will go off camera. So I'm trying to look through the I'm just doing it with my phone, with the selfie stick, just for the speed of use. I want to get this done. It's my last day here at work, and so I probably shouldn't be doing it. But I'm just doing it today so I can get this done. And I can go on holidays for 4 weeks. So putting it all in here. I should get my little bucket, which Kay Hilmer hassled me about. There you go, Kay. How about that? Just a little bucket. I'll put all my odds and ends in. Okay, put all my little odds and ends in a bucket there so we don't lose them. And then I'll make Kay happy. She doesn't worry about my big, massive bucket. Sorry, Kay. All right, so basically there I've got my plates. What I did, I actually used a little self-tapper. I have small self-tappers that I use. They're a couple of mil thick. Marked my plate, drill them on. So they're just screwed on at the moment, and I actually did take them for a roll, have a little bit of a test roll. Nothing too hard because obviously I don't want to rip the self-tappers out. So basically my plate is ready to go. So I'm just going to now just take one out, and I'll take them all out, sorry. So the holes are pretty much marked, so now I can drill. So I can take this plate off, and the holes are pretty much marked. And I'm still deciding whether I'll put the wedge in. I probably will. That'll be the last thing I do. Okay, so I'm using obviously a T-nut mount as I usually do. So I have a 8mm drill in here to use with my T-nuts. So T-nuts I'll use the countersunk bolt, gold bolts there, and the countersunk handle itself. Then I'll see how well the T-nuts sink into the sole. I might have to clip off the little clips. So I'm going to try and do this in the camera. Like I said, I don't want to drill my hand, but always got to be a bit slower in this part because it's close to the toe. I don't want to hit the tongue, or worse still, drill my hand. Try and keep perpendicular to the sole. There you go, we're through there. And the last one. Now probably only do one boot. You don't need to see both boots, but I'll show you at the end how it both looks. All right, there you go. I've got the 6 holes drilled. Sorry. What I also do is just a little bit of a countersink. Okay, so I've cleaned up the holes a little bit. I used a little bit of I just used my inside. You'll find sometimes in the boot you get a bit of just rubbish left over. So I try and clean it up as much as possible. It's a bit hard to get on camera, but I just use my sort of little sharp tool here just to get the burrs off from the inside. And then I seated my T-nut by what I have here is I have a long bolt. I have a long bolt, which is the same thread obviously as the T-nut, a little washer on top, and this little other bigger sort of sleeve fits over top, so the shaft will pass through it. So I basically, especially for the ones at the front, I put this through, put my T-nut on, so you can see pass the nut in. I put the T-nut on so it threads. That pulls all the way. Now this will start pulling the T-nut down. Pulls it through the sole. You can see it start to pull through the sole. And if I then use my Sorry. I just ratchet it down and it'll start to pull the T-nut through. Just feel inside and you'll feel it start to pull through. So I hit the camera there. It starts, and I drop it again. Of course I do. I drop everything. When I mount stuff, I'm always dropping shit. Trying to rush, which doesn't help. So that's now, it's pulled the T-nut in. I didn't have to clip off the prongs, which is good. So they're nice and firm in there. Just give that a nice bit tighten. And now just undo, take that bolt out. Oops. Take that bolt out now. And you'll see that the T-nut has pulled through the sole. It hasn't protruded right through, which is good, because the soles are thick enough to take the shaft. Well, it didn't on the other side anyway. I'll drop that. There you go, you can see that the T-nuts shafts are here, but they haven't gone all the way through. So, there's one at the back I've done as well. And I'll do the other one. And I'll do one in the front and I'll show you how I did the one in the front as well. Okay, to save you my swearing and cursing, getting the wedge in is a little bit of a pain because it makes obviously that a lot thicker. So trying to get the bolt to actually grab onto the thread of the T-nut was a bit problematic. So I had to actually then pull it down, put my long bolt through and pull it down. So it was nice to pull through, and then I was able to thread that one. So hopefully now I tighten them all up. And hopefully now, if I undo this one, undo my seating bolt, it should now all be pulled down enough that I can get the other bolt to catch. The wedge, the idea of the wedge is sometimes boots have a natural curvature. These, a lot of times skating boots don't have a curve at the front, they're pretty flat. But these ones do have a bit of a natural curvature, as you can see there. So to keep your sort of foot in a more natural position and to stop the top of the boot pulling down and putting pressure across the top of your foot and causing pain, putting a little wedge in sort of just helps alleviate that little bit of pressure over the top of your toes and top of your, over the arch, especially with those nerves at the top of your foot don't get crushed. I find it actually quite good. You don't notice the wedge after a few minutes, so that's good. And now hopefully this will put my finger up inside because the T-nut has just pulled out a little bit, and try and get this to seat. If this doesn't work, what I'll have to do is maybe countersink the plates, which I don't really want to do at the moment. Yeah, I can't quite get that to take at the moment, but I'll work on it. That T-nut hasn't pulled down properly, so try and pull it down a bit more. Every time I take the bolt out, it seems to pop back up a little bit. Now, like I said, sometimes these things can be a pain in the butt, especially right down at the toe. The toe can be very much a pain. I'll get back to you. Okay, so I've got it mounted. I've got it pulled through now. What I had to do was just had to put my seating bolt back in and pull the T-nut right down nice and tight, and then pull it down enough for me then to get a bit of thread. Once it's threaded on, then it was good to go. Now you notice that the cup washers might hang over the side a little bit, which is a little bit unneat, but not too bad. Could have gone with button heads, but I didn't have button heads here with me today. So, and it's like if these plates are successful, I'll probably come back and countersink them anyway. So now I'm just going to give them all a bit of a tighten up. Now I don't necessarily use Loctite, as I've said in the past, and you can if you want. It's totally up to you, but you should always check your mounting bolts occasionally anyway. So there you go. There's inside, the T-nuts are in there, they're seated, nicely seated. That one's up, poking up just a fraction, but the inner sole I use, it's only one. It's got a fairly good cushioning on it. Inner soles I use got fairly good cushioning, and I shouldn't feel that. If I do, like I said, I'll pull it back and get the trim off. So now it's just a matter of putting the trucks back on and so forth. You don't need to go over that. So they look like they're pretty good, but I'll be back in a second. All right, so here you go, guys. There you go, the mounted plate, mounted skate, one at least. There you go, a little bit longer than I'm usually used to having. Like I said, a 165 on a size 42 boot. Not sure what that is in US, but it's size 6 basically. This is marked as a size 6, I think US, about 42. Depends, like I said, as the Godfather says, you know, boot size is all arbitrary. So there you go, that's the one boot done. I will go off camera, go have some lunch, come do the second one, and I'll show you the completed thing later. All right, guys, thanks for watching. Take it easy. Curly from the Quad Skate channel, over and out for now. Bye. Guys, well, I hope you enjoyed that video. Now, the only things I did different was afterwards, I actually have now changed the mounting bolts from countersunk to button head. So you can see now they are button head mounting bolts. A little bit neater, they don't protrude over the edge of the plate. Actually, I'm starting to like that look a little bit better, I think. They look a little bit more strong and tough. Good. The other thing about those gold nuts, they were actually aluminium. So aluminium and stainless steel T-nuts, they were sort of stripping a bit. But yeah, so anyway, and the other thing I did was I added in a heel cushion just on the inside there. I just added a bit of a heel cushion just to help eliminate heel slip. Not that these had heel slip, there was just a seam inside that rubbed a little bit from the roll I had, so I just thought I'd put a bit of a heel cushion in there, heel slip cushion, which you can get from, I got these from a shoe shop, but you can get these from places like, you know, Kmart, Big W, and that's, I'm talking about Australia, and that sort of stuff. So that's, you know, two things that are slightly different from the finished product in the video. Alright guys, well, I'm going to hopefully have a roll on these and see how they go. I'll report back. I might even do a little video for you later on how these actually went. But anyway guys, take it easy. That's it. That's the skates. They're done. Looking good, looking beautiful, nice and shiny. And alright guys, take it easy. Curly from the Quad Skate channel, over and out. Till next time, thanks. Love yous all. Appreciate you all. And get out there and have a roll. See you guys.